Good evening and welcome. A top official with Mississippi's Homeland Security Agency is in hot water tonight. He's accused of using a state-owned vehicle for personal use.
He owes taxpayers thousands of dollars for the misuse. The state auditor's office is now demanding that Byram Thompson pay back more than $6,500. Thompson is the coordinator for the state's Homeland Security Search and Rescue Division. An auditor's investigation found Thompson used his government-issued vehicle for personal use between August of last year and this past May. That added up to thousands of dollars in unauthorized expenses. Investigators reviewed Thompson's timesheets, fuel purchases, and schedule. We talked with a spokesperson with the Department of Public Safety, which oversees Homeland Security in the state, but he would not comment on the accusations or Thompson's current employment status. Different agencies in the state have different policies regarding owned vehicles.
News Channel 12's Ross Adams takes a closer look at the Department of Transportation to see what's done there to make sure employees follow the rules. The story in It's Your Money tonight.
With dozens of dump trucks and a number of pickup trucks, the State Department of Transportation owns a large fleet of more than 2,500 vehicles.
Based on the employees' duties, about 280 vehicles go home each night.
Julie Etheridge heads MDOT's Asset Management Division. She says it's impossible to know for certain if the nearly 300 employees who take home agency vehicles each night are following the rules.
But we train our employees, we train their supervisors, we make sure that they receive the training at least annually.
And that's not all. MDOT workers who take home state vehicles have to read and sign forms indicating they understand how to properly use government property.
In addition to these forms the employees sign, we as an agency review fuel man reports and usage.
Because a lot of your money is on the line. In the last fiscal year, MDOT spent close to $4 million on fuel. Ross Adams, WJTV News Channel 12.
The Department of Finance and Administration is responsible for enforcing regulations on state vehicles. Some rules apply to all state agencies. Here are some of them. State employees cannot take their Mississippi-issued car home unless they are authorized to do so. If they do, they're required to keep a complete list of every trip they make in the car for audit purposes. If the driver does have take-home privileges, they are required to be on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for emergencies. More than 900 state vehicles are currently authorized for 24-hour use. More than 7,000 state vehicles are issued to state workers.
We want to hear from you. State-owned vehicles are the latest topic on our online poll. We're asking, what should happen to workers who misuse company resources for personal use? The choices are warn them, fire them, make them pay back the company, or other. You can find it on our homepage.
Here's your Storm Team 12 Vipercast.
What a difference today makes. Yesterday it was stormy. Today much quieter, much gentler. We pushed through a weak frontal boundary, which is rare in the month of August, but it did bring in some drier air. Brought in a whole lot more sunshine too as well. Should feel rather comfortable this evening. Still pretty toasty out there right now. We stand at 92, but by 10 o'clock back up into the upper 70s. We'll check out the extended weekend forecast for you. Looking pretty good. Storm Team 12 forecast coming up in about 8 minutes.
More than 500 Scott County students will return to school tomorrow. They were out today because of weekend storm damage. Heavy winds and storms ripped holes in the roof at Lake Elementary School in the town of Lake in Scott County. The ball fields at the high school were also damaged. News Channel 12's Tracy Armbruster is in Scott County where the cleanup efforts are now underway.
We had a lot of water damage, but wind damage too.
Superintendent Frank McCurdy says when the Sunday night storms blew through, they worked quickly to prevent more damage from happening.
We were covering books, covering computers, covering Promethean boards, and all of our electronics, and or anything that we thought would be water damage, we're covering it.
Holes in the roof and down power lines were just some of the damage to the schools.
We lost a scoreboard on the football field. We lost a one lighted pole on the softball field. We just had extensive awnings at many places that were totally either demolished or bent up. We had 4 classrooms and a library that had major water leaks.
And the community came together to help.
We were so grateful for that. And our first and paramount thing is the safety of our children, and the next is to educate them the best we can, and that's what we're about.
In Scott County, Tracy Armbruster, WJTV News Channel 12.
Yesterday's storms also damaged several homes in the community, and we talked with one resident who lives near the school and had some of that debris from Lake Elementary in her yard. She had damage to an awning and her gazebo.
Waiting to get everything back in place again, and I thank Jehovah God for letting my house there and my family all safe. And the children wasn't here at school.
Again, there will be school tomorrow for students at Lake Elementary and Lake High Schools. 4 teachers had their students at the elementary school will be relocated to different classrooms. Jackson police are now investigating an early morning armed robbery. Details in this crime alert. It happened around 2:55 this morning at the Texaco on Medgar Evers Boulevard. The manager, who was working at the time, says a man came in pretending to buy something. When the manager walked and came around the counter to help the man, 2 other men with handguns came in demanding money. The 3 men forced the manager to open the register and give them money. Then they took off. The manager was not hurt.
Federal prosecutors are calling witnesses in the case against a man accused of shooting a Jackson police officer. This is his second trial on these charges. The jury will decide if 23-year-old Antonio Turner carjacked the officer's car and used a gun during that crime. Last August, a jury convicted Turner of robbery and being a felon in possession of a firearm related to the case, but they could not reach a verdict on these carjacking and gun charges. Prosecutors say Turner shot Officer Dwayne Collier in the head and stomach during a police chase. Collier survived but was critically injured. Cornelius Black, who's Turner's half-brother, already pleaded guilty to federal charges in the case as an accomplice to the crime. Investigators say Black and Turner robbed 2 businesses that day of the shooting. That's what triggered the police chase. After they crashed their car, investigators say Black took off running and Turner shot Collier. One of the times he was already on the ground. Turner then took off in Collier's patrol car. A manhunt followed and lasted for several hours. Police finally caught both men in a wooded area not far from where Officer Collier was shot.
2 new cases of the West Nile virus have been confirmed here in the state. We're told that both cases were reported in LaFleur County and involve adults. That's 3 cases for the year. The other was in Coahoma County. Right now, we are in the peak of mosquito production. Repellents containing the chemical DEET are recommended if you're outside, especially around dusk or dawn.
If you're looking for a job, the Toyota plant in Northeast Mississippi is now hiring. The company is accepting applications for hourly production and for skilled maintenance positions. The plant is in Blue Springs and is scheduled to open in the fall of next year. Workers will make the Corolla sedan once the plant is open. Toyota has been saying that they will employ about 2,000 employees once the plant hits its full operation capacity in 2012. Pizza Hut is making plans to expand in the area and is hosting a job fair to look for good men and women. The job fair will be held from 10 until 4 this coming Wednesday at the South Wheatley Street store in Ridgeland. If you are going to come, dress professionally, bring along a cover letter and your resume. The company is looking for managers and delivery drivers. For more information about the job fair and the jobs open, go to WJTV.com and click on the local news tab. And if you're looking for a job, don't forget that our website is one stop on your job search. You just go to WJTV.com and type in the keyword jobs on the top left-hand side of our homepage.
Parts of a popular Metro City roadway will soon be closed down due to construction. Now more local news. Expect to see some periodic lane closings now through September 3rd. Crews are doing construction work on the Bob Anthony Parkway, also known as the Spillway. If you're in a hurry, you might want to consider a different route. Department of Public Safety and the Mississippi Highway Patrol, they are cracking down on drunk driving across the state. The campaign kicked off on Friday. It's called Over the Limit Under Arrest, and through September 6th, drivers can expect to see a stronger police presence on the roadways. A well-known Flowwood walking trail has been approved for a 3-acre expansion. Winter Circle Park will be growing in the next 6 to 9 months. The expansion includes more playground space and equipment, tennis courts, and more parking.
Still ahead, expanding that massive recall. Now a capital city egg distributor is recalling more than 9 million eggs, all because of that salmonella outbreak. What you need to know ahead.
And new rules for gift cards. They are designed to protect gift givers and receivers. What you need to know. That's ahead. But it's time now to head into the Storm Team 12 Weather Lab. Let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist